everybody. Welcome to the It Couple. I am your host, Dan St. Germain, and my co-host,
Sarah,
SJ. Were you going by
Sarah.
Sarah or SJ?
We'll just say, okay, so we have to fix this because it's, just call me Sarah. It's fine. We go by SJ. SJ Sarah.
Can you be like your Chris Gaines?
Yeah. Oh, she's in SJ mode.
Oh, she's a bitch SJ.
She's in her Sasha
That's
Fierce.
true.
Yeah.
SJ Fierce.
You're not talking to Sarah. You're talking to
This
SJ.
is SJ.
And you just heard him with that lovely deep voice. One of my best friends in the world. One of the funniest guys I know. Special on HBO, Billions, done all the other late night sets, and knew him from the Bonfire. Dan Soder, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you,
The
Dan.
Coast of the Bonfire, since this is a spooky episode.
Well, our original question is like, now, I asked Dan to do this.
Yeah.
He's not a big horror fan, so he picked Predator, which is a great movie. It's an action movie with horror dust. Still kind of technically horror.
Yeah.
But you're not a big horror movie guy. Like, what's the last thing that really scared you in life?
I mean, in life, I'm scared by every day.
Yeah.
But what's funny about scary movies is I'll watch horror movies, and while I'm watching it, I'm like, this isn't so bad. And then it's the days that follow, which the last movie that did it to me was It Follows. I watched it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I watched it, and I was like, this isn't that scary. And then I was just in my hotel, like,
Well, if you're single. were
But
you
you're by
single at the
yourself.
time, too?
I was single.
You're
I was
thinking
by
about what was about to
myself.
follow you.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. But that movies just like that, they mess with me for days.
Even when you were a kid? And
When I was a kid, it was crazy. I saw Pet Sematary when I was very young. That really fucked with me. The series, really fucked with me. Just really got me where I was like, I don't like this. I don't understand why people do this. And then my stepdad was super into horror.
Now we get to the crux.
He molested me dressed as Pennywise. No, he loved Stephen King's Dean Koontz. He would like
Dean Koontz is such like the poor man Stephen King. It's
Well,
like,
it's what-
this
it's-
one's an evil golden retriever instead of a Saint Bernard.
Well, you know what? How he got me with Dean Koontz to me seemed like it was the beer that was left in the fridge.
Oh, yeah.
like when you were done with all the.
Oh, he's the
Stephen
Natty
King.
Ice of horror.
Yeah, there you
Dean
go.
Koontz
We
is
got
the
some
Natty
Dean
Ice of
Koontz in
horror.
here, and you go, yeah, all right, I'll have a Dean Koontz. And it was he would like tell me about it, and then I remember I watched The Exorcist
Well, that'll
at my
you.
best friend's house, and it fucking terrified me.
Well, it's a terrifying movie.
And I just
So
remember
that makes
being
sense.
like, no, it's cool. It's cool.
Jesus Christ.
I remember being like, I'm fine. I'm fine. And then just not sleeping that night.
We're probably doing The Exorcist later on with Joe DeRosa, and I was so into that I got like in contact with the New York Archdiocese and met their
Wait, how old were you when you did
I was
this?
8th grade. And
Eighth grade and you called up the church
I met,
and you were like-
I met The Exorcist for the New York Archdiocese.
Why?
Because I was doing it for a book report in high school, and then I lost the book report, and he got really pissed at me. The Exorcist.
Wait, you lost the
Well,
book?
I gave it, and then they like it was an over the summer thing, and I was like reading that right when my sister was like in a coma from a car accident.
Jeez.
So it was like all this stuff was going on. So yeah, I contacted him because I wanted to see if it was real. He told me all these wild stories, but I don't know.
Is it
man.
like
don't believe in it?
here's my is it like healing? Is it like religious healing where you're like it's more the brain's belief that it's happening?
Well, I think like when something happens, like we thought my sister was going to die. Like when you start to think about like good and evil, I guess, you know, and maybe that's just, you know, and it's such a great book, you know, it's like almost like I've read the book and I've seen the movie, and it's such a renunciation of like everything that was going on at the time as far as like the 70s and 60s.
Sure.
And, you know, so I think that like it's this weird, like it fits you in this nostalgia berries place where you're like, I want there to be a devil to make sense of all this horror.
Yeah, because
Right.
then things
You know?
are black and white, and it's when things are like that, they're easier to explain than when they're gray.
Right, it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Until then you realize like, oh, probably in the Dark Ages, these are just poor people with schizophrenia who
Yeah.
were getting like fucking burned alive because they thought the devil was in them and shit
Yeah,
like
and the
that.
king's going like, I don't like why are they like this? They must be possessed by an evil spirit. And they're like, oh, they probably only ate bread for a week, and they had no proteins going to their brain, so they were like, You know, probably fucked up.
I would say so.
I love the thought of like old devilish things, but really it's just malnutrition.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And like gluten allergies.
Look at the way the stomach protrudes. Oh, they must have little demon bellies in their stomach. It's like, no, they haven't ate anything.
Yeah. No, he's got a cold.
He's starving.
He has a cold.
Ew, Satan, what have you done to this poor boy?
Or also, it's like, let's just bloodlet. Like,
Yeah.
every time there's a problem, we'll just bleed somebody, and then we'll
Which-
get rid of what's wrong with them.
That's like if you asked me to be a doctor.
Yeah, oh yeah, for
They
sure.
go, I got a headache. I go, let's put this fucking leech on your head. You want to just drill a hole and clear it out?
Let's see what happens. Well, today we are, like I said, we're actually taking a foray to the action horror genre.
Yeah.
Predator, which I hadn't seen until me and Dan are writing a show for Peacock. Hopefully we're still writing it by the time this comes out.
We
or
should
it's
be.
getting made.
If they're not fucking idiots, we are.
Oh my god! If you
But
don't, I'm
Soder
lighting
was
our
bringing up the
apartment on fire.
helicopter scene, and I was ashamed to say that I had only seen the end of Predator, so I went back and watched it, and it's pretty. I mean, John McTiernan, man, because he did Die Hard too.
Mm-hmm.
He just understands action so well.
Well, they do it. They do it perfectly, where you get the cool introduction. Schwarzenegger always. The introduction of Schwarzenegger in his movies is always so cool, except Commando.
I was gonna say Kindergarten Cop.
Kindergarten Cop, but
Kindergarten Cop was great. He was
No,
like
but
blowing
the
people away. and
intro,
shit.
but the intro.
like the intro to the character of Commando, he's way too into his daughter,
yeah.
played by Alyssa Milano.
Oh,
if
my
you
God.
remember
well, it
that,
makes sense then.
they're like they're alone and it's a cabin and
Bro.
she just straight up looks like his child bride.
Bro,
And
there's-
he's like, oh, I love you, come here. Nothing will ever harm us. See, it's natural. And then they take her, and then he becomes badass.
Could you imagine Mr. Universe molesting you? That
Oh,
would
he
be too
goes,
much.
I'm so big and they are so tiny.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, but he.
Well, it's funny you say that. 'Cause you've obviously seen Over the Top about
Yeah.
Stallone. The relationship that Sylvester Stallone and his son have an Over the Top. I mean, Chucky on camera has realized this. There's a moment where they're in the cab of the truck together.
Yeah.
And it's straight up him just trying to groom his kid. He's like,
Yeah.
"You sure you don't want to lean on me?
goes,
You sure?"
Hey, you're getting big now. You should take your pants off. I don't know if you know how truck drivers do it, but we drive with our pants off and we touch each other.
That movie, man.
That's how you know. That's how I stay awake on the road.
If we did action movies, we would do that.
Over the Top is
It
ridiculous.
It is such a crazy.
That's
movie.
not his real son.
They
no.
spend money on that movie.
No,
too.
his real son's Rocky V.
Right,
that was the
that's
first
Rocky
time.
V.
Over the Top was wasn't
Was
it?
that Meet Me Halfway Across the Sky? Was
That's
that the
it.
song?
Yeah,
That's
that's
Kenny
it.
Loggins.
And
yeah.
it's isn't Robert Loggia?
I
the
love
great-
Robert
Robert.
Loggia's
I
the
love
bad
a
guy,
Robert
and you know who's Robert
Loggia.
Loggia's side guy is Terry Funk.
Oh
In that
yeah,
movie, he's yeah.
I forgot. Oh, Terry
I
Funk.
love Terry.
Also in Roadhouse, they asked me. You know the Gyllenhaal. They just rebooted
Roadhouse
with
With
Jake
Jake.
Gyllenhaal.
Did
as
you? Are you
Dalton.
in it? Are you going to be in it?
No, but they asked me to audition, and I said the only part I would audition for is Terry Funk's in the original, so I could go, "Get out of here, Dad," or
No,
whatever
dude,
the hell he said.
You got audition.
Jay knows the line, but I always
That movie went from this
talking about
remake,
Roadhouse?
the new remake, but it went from Ronda Rousey to Conor McGregor to now Jake Gyllenhaal.
Conor McGregor's in it.
He's in it.
I think Conor McGregor is the Terry Funk. I think, or he's the guy
Or
that
he's
gets
the-
crushed by the polar bear.
Or the guy who's like, "I fucked you in prison," or is
Yeah,
it that
I
guy?
think
Who's
he's the
Ronda
bad guy.
Rousey? Is she in it at all?
She
No.
was gonna be Dalton. They were gonna make her as
But
Dalton.
then they realized she'd be better as a tree.
But yeah, because you know what it is. I think you know what lost the movie for her was when she started wrestling, because she got in the ring on the mic, and when she did that first point,
That was
Lassie
really rough.
at the
Oh,
WrestleMania.
that was bad.
Where she didn't say any words.
It's
she just
crazy.
Kept
Now
pointing.
she's like in the mid card.
And you know that as casting, you were
Yeah.
like, I think they saw that and they were like, oh.
well, it was
Oh,
just
you
so
get yeah.
she was
She
so
wasn't tied to. She wasn't tied to it. It was just in talks. Then they were like, we're gonna go in a different direction.
We gotta reboot.
We
this
never
whole
want
thing.
to tell someone they're bad in casting, and you never want to tell someone they're too old or too. You just say, you know what? They're going in a different
It's a
direction.
bad date, right?
Yeah,
It's just like a bad date. You go like, I'm not going to fall in love
Nope.
with you.
Nope.
Let's just get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
and I wish you well. And if
Yeah.
something better comes down the road that you're right for, we'll bring you back in.
Yeah.
But it's not.
That's
this
actually what our
one.
first date was.
We're
She
going
gave me
to
that
see.
speech.
Got some other candidates. If
Really
they-
looking for diversity, unfortunately.
And I ended up with this. So it's like-
hey, he was around on the film date. It worked. But Predator is the best intro. I would say one of the best intros of Schwarzenegger in a movie.
Is it but Dylan, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, when they come in, it's him and the crew. They're in their casuals.
Yeah.
They got their bags. They check in. They're kind
Dude,
of like,
and Schwarzenegger, not only is he yoked, he's shredded. He's
He's-
shredded
Oh,
yoked.
it's like his prime.
Yeah, this is
like his prime.
This is when he was still probably on a bodybuilder's schedule and filming movies.
Yeah.
I had a couple scenes with Kevin Pollak in Billions, and he was telling me about End of Days. They did End of Days.
Yeah.
And this is later in Schwarzenegger's career. He said Schwarzenegger had a 16-wheeler that would pull up, and it was a gym in the back. And so just so he could get his pumps in, he would just go and be like,
Well, that's why Ventura and him used to work out.
Yeah.
Interesting fact about this: Carl Weathers also used to work out, but he didn't want to work out around other actors because he wanted to just say it was natural, which is a crazy.
wait, really?
Yeah.
Because Carl Weathers,
really?
as jacked as Schwarzenegger.
Dude,
That's
Carl
why
Weathers looks
Yeah.
better than Schwarzenegger in this.
That's why that handshake is so iconic.
Yeah, I mean,
Something
they're both
that-
yoked.
It's something that me and my fiance do probably once a week. When I'll come in
Hey,
the kitchen,
you
I'll go,
son of a bitch.
I'll go, you took out the trash, you son of a bitch. And then we do it. And then we'll do it for a little bit. And then I hit her with the, what's wrong? CIA got you pushing too many pencils? I love it. It's my favorite
Well,
handshake.
let me just go through the cast real quick. Schwarzenegger is Dutch. Carl Weathers is Dylan. Kevin Peter Hall is the Predator. It was Jean-Claude Van Damme briefly.
Didn't know he was going to be in the suit.
No,
Do you know that?
No, he thought he was. Well, also
that
he was
actually
too
would
short.
make sense why he didn't want to do it. Then.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it because of the suit. And,
Yeah.
he was too small. Elpidia Carrillo is Anna.
Yeah.
I don't know what else she's in. I keep confusing her for the romantic interest in The Golden Child. I don't think that's it. Bill Duke is Mac. Jesse Ventura is Blaine. Scotty Landham is my personal favorite, and this is Billy. Richard Chaves is Pancho, or I think it's Chaves. I don't know. He looks white. I don't know why I'm giving it a Latino.
Is he the one with the
color.
glasses?
Yeah, he's the one who
Yeah.
talks about big pussies the whole time.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
may be my favorite character. And R.G. Armstrong is General Phillips. Directed by John McTiernan, Die Hard, Hunt for Red October, so this guy knows what he's doing. And it was written by Jim and John Thomas. Their inspiration, I don't know if you knew this inspiration, was I guess there was something in Hollywood because... like Stallone, they'd just done Rocky IV, and they're like, well, now that like Stallone beat the Russian, who can he beat? And they took that as a challenge. They're like, we'll write the ultimate bad guy for Stallone, and that's how Predator happened.
So Predator was supposed to be for Stallone.
No, they just took that, and they were like,
They're like, who
And then they
can't
decided-
Stallone beat that Schwarzenegger could beat?
yeah, I don't know where the process that was, but
Well, because that documentary Arnold is out now on Netflix.
I just watched it. Yeah,
and
It's good.
I only saw a clip of it, but it was him.
Good. It's a total like fluff piece.
Yeah. I mean, it's for his.
Oh,
new show.
are they interviewing him? Is
Yeah,
that why
it's
he's like?
it's his whole new show for Fubar.
He's like, maybe I shouldn't have grabbed so many asses,
Yeah.
at one point.
Right.
Have you ever had housekeeper pussy? It's very warm. It's very warm and inviting. But he talks. I saw that clip where he talked about him and Stallone hating each other, and that makes sense. That someone would be like, who can't Stallone beat that Schwarzenegger could to put him over?
Well, there was a rumor, like, because they were both. There was a rumor they were both hooking up with Bridget Everett at the time, and they were hooking up. There was a rumor
wasn't
that
back then?
there was a rumor that like Stallone's like the wife he has now had an affair with him
With Schwarzenegger.
So they're just constantly.
Here's the thing: they're all ripped. There was no body hair. Everyone was
Yeah.
slamming into everybody. You know what I mean? Smoking was still good for you.
I appreciate this about
Cigars.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Specifically,
Stallone.
cigars.
Schwarzenegger always wants to look buff and strong and like. But like Stallone in some of these movies, like The Specialist with Sharon Stone,
Yeah.
there's a sex scene that's all Stallone's ass, and you have Sharon Stone, who's like the hottest
Yeah.
at the time,
Coming
and
right
it's
off
just
Basic Instinct.
Stallone's ass brush, against the shower
Is it
wall,
hairy?
like seeing it. What?
Is it hairy?
No, it's beautiful.
He doesn't have a, he doesn't
That's
have
the
a
point.
hair
Is
on him.
he's
It's
like
all whack.
He wants to the sex scene. It's also
He's
been
like,
showcasing him.
I
Right.
think Sharon will look really nice right here, but if you ask me, I could press my cheeks against the shower. And I'm going to give everybody here something to think about.
And they do. They get into it. But yeah,
Well,
the
the
budget
villain,
was-
the villain that comes for them all eventually is the love of celebrity, and that's why Stallone is doing his daughter's
Fucking reality show. Yes.
That's the one that got him better than Drago. That's what took down Hogan.
There's
It
a
wasn't
lot
that
you
big
can-
giant.
You can blame a lot of things on the Kardashians, and some of it I agree with, but I do think like the celebrity of nobodies suddenly having their own show is something they're directly responsible
it
for.
can-
You know what else I would say? I would add to this because I've been talking about it a lot with Katie. Was the Kardashians made selling out okay?
100%.
Where they're like, yeah, sell your soul for that company.
They
and
were
now
unapologetic.
We just saw one with who does Abbott Elementary? What's her name? She's great.
Quinta Brunson.
But she's like in commercials now, and you're like, no. You're the hottest thing in Hollywood right now. You have the greatest show right
Dude, that's
now.
the- that's the-
Don't
There
do a
was a
commercial
time
now.
when celebrities only did commercials in
Which
Tokyo.
brings us back to Schwarzenegger, Stallone would go over there and do like soda commercials,
clean up.
and make millions,
Yeah.
and no one in the United States knew they were selling
No.
out.
There was also no way of really knowing, but now everything is so
internet.
shareable.
Yeah.
You know, on everything that you can just see that an ad they did. I mean, you know. the
I'll
whole-
do Japanese commercials. I'll 100%
Are you
do
fucking
Japanese.
kidding? I will go live there tonight.
All right. Well, this movie, 15 or 18 million budget, 98.3 million it made, so huge success. 20th Century Fox. Let's go through the. We already talked about the opening where Dutch and his team are
What country
They're
does
deployed
it play?
to South America.
They make it Central America.
Central
right?
America, so
Because
what are you
that's all the
thinking?
Iran Contra stuff is
Oh,
going
right.
on.
So are we thinking Guatemala? Or are we
I was thinking Nicaragua or Guatemala. Those are the two hotbeds of communism for.
I went there for a wedding. Had I known,
Nicaragua?
I went to Guatemala for my friend's wedding. Had I remembered that Predator was based there, I would have been quoting it the whole time.
Well, there's a lot worse things that have happened there than Predator.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was in Nicaragua, like the guy who was a villager just pointed, goes, "Yeah, that's where they used to torture townspeople, like up there."
I mean,
And
that,
you're just
you
like,
could
"Oh,
say
this
that
is-
about
this
any
is cool."
town, quite honestly.
So we open up with Schwarzenegger. You know, it's all love between Dutch and Dylan, and then we jump cut, which is to the helicopter scene, which Dan, brought up. Soder brought up because we have a helicopter scene in our pilot,
Yeah.
and we kind of model it after the scene in some ways.
It's the It was
It's the standard. It's the standard introduced to the action crew scene.
red lights on. Everyone's gearing up. You see Dutch in the crew before they go in. They're lighthearted. Dutch is smoking cigars, talking shit. Gets on the helicopter. Red lights on. That's when they start putting the paint on. That's when Jesse the Body Ventura has the classic line of he puts chaw in, spits it on the boot. Who's he? He spits it on someone's boot.
I think he speaks on. Is this Carl Weathers' boot? Is it
Yeah,
Dylan's boot?
I think it's Carl's Weathers' boot, and then he offers some to someone else and says, "This will make you a sexual Tyrannosaurus."
And then the best runner of this entire movie is how many giant pussy jokes there are, which is great. The guy who plays Chaves just keeps doing pussy jokes, which Billy does not sell until later when they're fighting the Russians, and then Billy finally sells a. It was a pretty funny giant pussy joke, the Echo.
Yeah.
There's not enough giant. My whole thing about this movie and why I love it, not enough giant pussy jokes. There's a ton of tiny
You do
dick
love
jokes.
a giant pussy.
I
will
love a
say
giant
that.
pussy
He
joke.
loves a giant pussy joke. and
Sarah
giant
does not have a
pussy.
giant pussy, but I think they're hilarious.
Do you think that when they were writing it, they were like, "This is too many giant pussy jokes"?
I think they doubled down and they
Or
just kept
they're
it
like,
because it's probably like that rule of like you either put 3 in or you just keep going.
I like that.
And they probably banged it on. They were like, nope,
And
more
they were
pussy.
like just at lunch, and they're like, "Oh, fucking look at this, bigger than a pussy. Put that in."
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got
They
another
also,
one.
there's only one girl, and this is another note I had for this. There's only one girl in this, and the amount of sexual harassment she must have dealt with
my
on
God.
set. Like I'm thinking, like
It's like
you have
Judy Garland with them
It's just
fucking
professional
midgets.
wrestlers and Schwarzenegger. Just
Everyone juiced out of their minds.
Yeah.
Everyone's on
no women in sight besides this girl.
Well, maybe hopefully some on the crew. Like,
Okay, the 80s and the 80s and
in the 80s, they were
wardrobe,
they were,
makeup, maybe.
Oh,
They
man.
almost and reading about this movie, the person who had the worst time in this movie was the guy who played Predator. Kevin Hall could not see through the mask.
Oh my
he could
God.
not move. He would have to go through they would make him go through this water, and he would get leeches on him. Like he was like it wasn't filming. It was like we got through it. Like he was miserable the whole fucking
Oh.
time.
How many days do you think he was needed on set?
A
the whole
lot. I would
time.
say a lot. Yeah, because
Yeah.
later on, it's all the last third. You know, they
It's all
get
him.
rid of it's all him, and
Yeah.
that's why it's truly not a horror movie, because you see Predator way too fucking much.
Well, in the beginning,
Which is
you
cool,
don't
'cause
know
it's-
what's killing these people.
Which
and
is
skinning
right.
them.
That's where it's scary.
Right. It's the
Yeah.
unknown.
Yeah.
And then once you know sort of the source of
You
evil,
ugly
you're like,
son of a
okay.
bitch.
What the hell are
Yeah, so
you?
they land in the
Kevin
jungle.
Peter Hall. He also did the voice of Optimus Prime, the guy who did. I mean, not Kevin Peter Hall, but the guy who did the Predator's voice also did Optimus Prime.
What's the Predator's voice? Isn't the Predator's voice just the clicking? Isn't it just that?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
there's you got to get the clicker guy.
And then he does like the.
That's pretty good, Sarah.
Thank you.
He goes like the when he repeats it back to him.
Ugh.
That's always great.
But Kevin Peter Hall was he was in both Predator and Predator 2.
Predator in the city.
Predator City.
Predator takes Broadway.
Oh, he died of fucking AIDS at 36.
Who
The
did?
guy who played
Yikes.
Predator.
Oh my God! From
Which I
the
didn't-
leeches?
No, not the leech.
No, from an actual predator.
From an actual predator. Yeah, from an actual predator.
Yeah, an actual predator got him.
An actual predator got
That
him.
poor
But
guy.
A bug chaser.
he also, this is the big thing. Guess what role he was? This is the thing that I want to say. Guess the role he was before this.
What?
What?
They went from Van Damme, and because Kevin Peter Hall's 7'2". He is 7'2".
Really?
He's huge. Died in
I mean,
91.
that might have also
7'2".
helped with what
Before
he
this, he was Harriet and the Hendersons.
Oh my goodness.
So talk about two different experiences.
Which, by the way, Dan Soder was at our wedding. We did have a wedding cake. It melted because it got too hot, and then we had pie. That's like what we really served. Dan was Harry and the Henderson, and I was Annabelle. And we had two little figurines. And what happened was we ended up moving them to his dad's
I
garage.
also will die of AIDS.
He will die of AIDS. We moved them to his dad's garage, and then like mice ate them or shit all over them. And like once a mouse shits on something, you can't Clorox wipe it off.
But I do love
But
that.
it makes me sad.
I do love that your representation on the wedding cake was.
was Harry and then
Yeah.
Harry. Yep.
Yeah,
Which
well,
is-
it's our relationship.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's this. It's one of the toughest endings. It's the.
Oh, my God.
It's the classic Jack London White Fang ending, where John Lithgow has to go, "Get out of here! Don't you understand? I don't want you here." And then Harry's like, "Oh."
Oh, that's
how
so
I feel
sad.
every-
That was so sad.
That's how I feel every weekend I leave a comedy club.
Get out of
Really.
here.
That's what I
You guys
feel like
have a-
every time I see my friends on Instagram.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I go, "You guys have a pretty good buffalo chicken salad." They go, "Get out of here!"
they throw mozzarella sticks on your Spirit flight to get you in there.
I told you there was going to be a Uber at your hotel for you to go to the airport.
So they get to the island. They find the bodies of the Green Berets. Their skin, they're upside down.
And they assume an animal did it, but there are no
And
tracks.
Isn't this where there's a big pussy joke?
There's a lot of big pussy.
There's another big pussy. I think there's a 4 total big pussy jokes.
See if I can
Because
find
when
all
they
those pussy
find
jokes.
the bodies skinned,
They're
they
like, oh, this
find
reminds me of a giant pussy.
Yeah, they're not even good.
He's not even trying.
No.
He just.
Whoa, look at this. It's like a cavernous pussy.
You know that
Well,
was that because the guy who does the pussy jokes, that's all he does in the movie, and then he dies essentially. So it's like that was his thing.
What's the order of death in the crew?
I think I can do this actually. The first, well, obviously the Russians die. The Green Berets that we don't see die first.
Because that's why they're sent in there.
Then the Russians die.
Was they go? So then they. It turns out that Dutch and his boys are actually there to do some dirt for the CIA.
Yeah.
And they go and blow out that village. Great 80s fight scene. It's
Great.
one of the most like everyone shoots a gun like this, like down at their hips. And they they don't even look. They don't even go through the sights.
So funny because now that we know about MMA, we know that the guy who doesn't look the best isn't the best fighter. So if these guys were actually in combat, like with the muscles they had, they would be gassed out within a half a mile.
I
All these
can't run. It's too much cardiovascular activity.
None of these guys have cardio.
I was hoping to shoot, bang, bang, blow up. It's too much.
Bang, bang.
Wait, is Hawkins the first one that dies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is that played by Shane Black?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that was played. Shane Black, who wrote Lethal Weapon.
Really?
Yep.
And he's the first
Let me
one
see if
out.
it's the same guy. Can you?
Yeah, let me look up.
We really should do. We do enough research, but we should do. More.
So, yeah, because they do the dirt for the CIA. They take out the
Yeah, he's
Russian
in it.
village.
He's in it.
God, look at it. He did Predator, Long Kiss Goodnight, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Iron Man 3, The Nice Guys.
Well, he didn't write Predator.
No, but he was in it.
That's crazy, though.
The new one.
He wrote
He
he wrote
did?
Prey.
No, the one before that.
He's
Oh,
the,
well,
and
that
he's
one.
With with Toby.
Thomas Jane.
Not with Thomas.
Well, Thomas Jane was in it too.
He
It
was.
was
he,
Thomas
he
Jane and the
wrote
guy-
and directed Iron Man 3, The Nice Guys, and The Predator.
Nice Guys, great. The Predator,
Great.
not good.
And he-
The
not
Predator.
good.
Was that the
The
one where they're all
Predator.
on the hunting
I
island?
think that was Lawrence Fishburne.
2018. Is that?
No, that was the Predators. They really fucked up the Predator sequels.
Yeah,
Prey's great. If you
Prey
guys
is
haven't
great.
seen Prey,
Prey's
gay.
If you've
Great.
never seen
This
anything
and
in
Prey
the
are my
franchise,
favorite ones.
I would say watch Predator and then follow it with Prey.
Yep. I
Nothing
agree.
else is necessary.
Nothing
All the
Nothing else.
aliens.
Danny Glover's great in 2, and Busey's a special kind of unhinged.
Oh, you see.
You see Aliens vs. Predator. It's never as because I was a huge fan of. Did you play the arcade game?
Loved it.
was like one of the best. If you haven't played it, one of the best arcade games
Yeah.
fucking ever. It's like up there with the Simpsons arcade
Aliens
game.
vs. Predators.
It's amazing, and the graphics were really good at the time, and yeah, but they were never all the Alien vs. I have a soft spot for Alien vs. Predator Requiem, even though it has Alien vs. Predator Requiem has one of the most disturbing scenes I've ever seen in any horror movie, where they have one of the mother alien.
she's hooked inside.
She goes inside a pregnant woman's stomach and then just sucks the baby out of the stomach, and that was fucking gnarly.
Yeah,
That's what an
that was like the
abortion
big
looks like.
Yeah, that was like the big pyramid under the ground. Was that one?
That was Alien. That was the first one, Alien vs. Predator. That was terrible with Bishop. Bishop was in that. Too.
Yeah. So
That was the connecting tissue.
But once Hawkins dies, that's the beginning of. That's where it goes from action. What's good about Predator, what I like about it, is it goes action, horror,
Then back to action. Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, this is which I think that's kind of a cool change.
Yeah.
To go
Yeah.
like, oh, this is an action movie, everyone's greased up and fighting, turning into like, oh, the jungle's killing people.
Right.
Yeah. There's
Something scary is happening, but we
and
don't know
the
what
way
it is.
Billy is freaked out the whole time is
Yeah.
one of my favorite things.
There's a werewolf dog soldiers that you would love because
Okay.
dog soldiers follows this. It actually starts off kind of scary, and then by the end of it, it's just an action movie. It's a blast. It's the same fucking thing. It's werewolves versus Marines.
I love that.
You know.
I love that kind of thing, and I always said with like, and we were saying this before the podcast. I wish, and I know they couldn't market it. I wish if they were going to do a Predator sequel and really wanted to make it scary, don't reveal it's the Predator until it's the very end. Kind of like Prometheus. Just let it
I
roll.
think that's smart because then you know that
Just don't know
what's
who it.
coming.
You know, it's like it's the whole. To bring up wrestling terms, do you want the surprise or do you want to juice the gate?
Exactly.
What do you want?
Yeah,
Do you want
to
people
sell the
coming?
tickets.
Or
But
do
I
you-
think now that everything's streaming and now everything is straight to right to a streaming service,
Mm-hmm.
why not do that with a movie? Because you're not gonna. That would actually, I think, help a streaming movie more than in theaters. If you're just gonna do a movie that goes right to like Netflix or right to.
Well, I'm trying to think of horror movies that they retconned or that they went back and they reconfigured so they could make it. There's something that it happens in movies a lot, like the last Rambo,
Yeah.
which was terrible.
Terrible.
That was another script first. And you can tell that this was not a Rambo script. And then they re-engineered it to make it a Rambo script, but it was
Where they're like, yeah, Rambo's got that niece.
because if you look at the first half, he gets his ass kicked, and that's not been Rambo's
Rambo
story
doesn't get.
because
Rambo doesn't lose.
Rambo doesn't lose in the first
And
half.
Troutman will let you know in the first blood. This guy would eat things that make a baby
Dude.
go puke.
Rambo and Halloween are nothing without Donald Pleasance and Troutman because
Yeah.
they're just like it's just the promo. They're the Paul Heyman. They're
Yeah.
just building these guys up. All right, so we get so after Arnold Schwarzenegger, he kind of realizes Dylan has betrayed him.
Yeah.
He gets in his face, but it doesn't matter because the Predator's already starting rampaging.
And the girl is seeing the Predator, right?
The girl seen the Predator. She was a hostage.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
and she
doesn't
says
really-
the jungle came and took him alive
Yes.
when they ask what happened with Hawkins. So she can't describe what it was. She
Well, she
just knows
also
that
s-
something came and got him.
There also is like a line about how, which is maybe this is the closest you'll get for fucking Republicans to give a shit about global warming, but every time it gets warmer, then the Predator comes and you're
Oh, she says that, right? She
Yeah,
was in the
yeah.
hot summers.
yeah, the hot summer's predator comes.
Yeah. In 2, they give a lot more context to it when Glover gets on the ship and
Yep.
you see that they're collecting skulls.
And then you see the xenomorph head.
And you see the xenomorph head, and then you also see the pistol from 1716, I think the date's on it. And they give Danny Glover that pistol,
Yeah.
and that's tied to Prey. That's the pistol she uses in Prey
Wow.
to kill the alien at the end.
Oh my god.
I haven't seen Predator 2 yet, but I'm sure at some point Danny Glover has to go
It's so ridiculous.
What the hell is this thing?
Yeah,
That's like the first third of this.
It's basically they were like, how do we do Predator?
That's not a man.
Yeah, they go, how do we do Predator? We'll do Lethal Weapon, no Gibson. And then they're like, well, for our crazy, how about we do Busey? Watch. Predator 2 is a very fun early 90s action movie in the way
Is it more action than horror?
It's all action.
Yeah.
Because you got the Jamaican drug dealers and the Predator shows up and does Predator shit to them, but it's not scary. It's more like, the
We're
Predator.
just fucking you up.
Yeah, you know the Predator already. It's kind of like similarly to like Terminator 2,
Right.
where you're already familiar
Well,
with
that's
what
what I
the
was going to say.
villain
There's no
is.
surprise. You know what
Yeah, you're like, the villain's here. It's going
Right.
to do this. This is what it does.
And you really can't talk about Terminator without Alien, because even when I was reading the production, the Predator's design was partially James Cameron, which I didn't realize.
know that.
He was the one. He's like, I want to put a mandible on this, because he had just done Xenomorph, and I guess he was with the guy who designed it. Who
Yeah.
they paid to design it, and he was instrumental in helping him out with the design,
Which is iconic. That mouth opening up and the fucking like that.
It's amazing. I mean,
love it.
It's amazing. So
watch Predator 2, because the reveal at the end and spoiler alert, when Glover
there's like a T-Rex head in his Xenomorph.
Yeah, they pick him up and he gets on the ship and he's like seeing all their equipment, and then he goes into the trophy room and he sees the human head. He sees all the different heads, the xenomorph.
Yeah.
And that's when they show up. They beam up all the older Predators and they hand him the pistol from Prey, which is awesome.
One of the greatest endings of a horror movie ever is my and we'll probably talk about this in the show, is Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
At the very end of it, you have the mask there, and then you see Freddy's hand come
Yes.
up.
Come out of the dirt and take him
Yeah,
down.
and I kind of like
Yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason. Some people didn't like
It
it.
was a
I
great.
liked it. I thought it was.
It was a great, like, very, very rarely does that pay off. Very rarely.
Yes.
It paid off.
It's barely a horror movie, by the way. It's
Yeah,
an
but-
action movie.
In Batman Begins, it pays off. When at the end he goes, there's been an explosion, this guy's leaving this around, it's the Joker. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, how's this going to be good? And then it's Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason didn't really pay off. Predator vs. Aliens didn't
That
really.
was DOA, man.
Yeah. And I think they really were like, our generation specifically was very ready for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I give a shout out to Prometheus for trying to do what I said with the Predator movie, where you make it a horror movie, then at the end you're like, oh, this is Aliens.
This is Alien.
Oh, this is the start of Aliens.
Well, this movie, the criticism I will have is that, like, they bitch out everybody for this Predator. Like, Jesse Ventura doesn't stand a shot.
Well, he gets shot.
He's the next to die.
Yeah,
He
he's
gets hit with
second,
lasers.
right? And
Yeah.
he gets shot with the thing through him.
Yeah, it looks
like,
awesome.
And that's where-
explodes like his
And then Bill Duke comes in with a machine gun, starts trying to shoot all of them.
And with that's one of the oddly enough, one of the scariest scenes is just when Bill Duke unloads that gun and it's just going. It's just twisting with no bullets
Yeah.
left, and he's going.
It's very Jaws.
It's awesome because you're like,
Yeah.
there ain't nothing. You just mowed down the jungle, and it's you don't know.
You don't have anything. And Bill Duke ends up getting his head shut off. There's the famous, obviously this has been memed a bunch of times, but Carl Weather gets his arm shut up. Carl Weather, by the way, I cannot do more justice to how yoked he is in this movie.
It's crazy. When his arm gets cut off, his arm, you're like,
we just
look at
watched
him.
Rocky 3 from my other podcast. I don't think there's ever been a more in shape actor ever.
No.
Like,
Even when he was on Arrested Development, you're like, I bet you're jacked.
yo, he was jacked, yeah.
But in Predator,
Look at him now.
I mean, Bill Duke dying.
Looks pretty good.
He looks
How
great.
old is he?
He was born in 1948. So what is he?
He's 76.
He's 75.
Oh, no, he's 75, yeah.
75,
Yeah.
and he looks like that in The Mandalorian. It's
Look at
pretty
him.
good.
But he, I think, Bill Duke dies, and then Billy's got my favorite. Because everyone else is scared or angry, but the calm energy of Billy.
Well, Billy knows that they're going to die. He says that. We're all going to die out here.
Yeah.
Right.
He says that. And the biggest
And then he starts
crime this
losing
movie
his
does,
gear.
and me and Dan just talked about it before we recorded this podcast, the biggest faux pas this movie does is you set up this awesome Billy Predator fight scene where he takes off all his shit, and you don't see it. You just hear him scream and die.
I would have, this is just a fucking spur of the moment conspiracy theory. I bet Arnold didn't want to put anyone over him.
I bet you too.
I bet he was like, "Don't make him look
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
badass. I'm supposed to be the
I'm the
badass."
hero.
Yeah.
I'm
I
the
think
hero.
so.
They're pussies.
Which is interesting.
I'm the hero.
Because originally, it was just supposed to be Schwarzenegger and the Predator, and Schwarzenegger put in all of his Marines. He made him do a rewrite, and he
So
said,
that they
"No,
had
we
a-
need to have more Marines. We need to have more
Because
action."
he wanted those guys to get killed to show how strong he
That's
is.
what
That
it
like
is.
Yeah.
these guys couldn't survive,
Yeah.
but I did.
Yeah, I'm the one that
Yeah.
took down the monster.
Which
but
is
I bet
so
that's
Schwarzenegger. If you think
Yeah.
I bet that's absolutely why you didn't see a Billy Predator fight scene.
Oh, for sure.
Because Arnold was like, "No."
But he also gets rid of his gun, doesn't Billy? Like,
Oh yeah, he
chose
drops
to
everything.
go
He
in.
drops
Takes out
everything,
the
takes the
machete.
knife, and cuts himself on
It's
the
fucking
chest.
awesome.
Yep.
It's the
badass.
most manly thing.
Yeah,
That
Bro.
guy had a career afterwards. He acted and stuff.
he was fine.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
He's fine.
So basically it ends. It's the girl gets off the island with the helicopter. It's Schwarzenegger versus the Predator, and then Schwarzenegger gets the upper hand after this trap that he sets up for him.
Well, he realizes what's great is what this movie did that a lot of people fail at doing now is they don't walk the audience there, but they show you pretty convincingly how Arnold outsmarted the Predator. A lot of times now they use dialogue
Yeah.
to be
Right.
like, "Oh, the mud is covering up
Yep,
my heat,"
yep.
but he just sees it, and then when the Predator walks by and when he's on there in the mud and he's like. And he just walks by, you're like, oh shit, it's all, and from the audience perspective, it's all heat censoring.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
he realizes the mud, so they do a perfect job of letting the audience put two and two together, where you're like, okay.
Which, by the way, though, you would still pick up the heat, right?
No,
Well,
if you're
I mean-
covered, I think it's just like he can't.
Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to do, is like,
Yeah.
because he does like the core heat. That's how he always sees
Yeah.
people, with like the, it goes out and like the heat center.
It's also it's impossible to make a real. This is why Predator has never been talked about in the pantheon of like Freddy and Jason. If you see something too much from the murderer's perspective, he'll never be that scary.
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
it's understanding.
Right, because then you get it. Yeah.
because it immediately becomes an action movie. But eventually, Predator gets caught. I guess, and he decides to set
Because
himself
they set
to
up a trap.
self-destruct.
Right,
Yeah.
they set up a trap.
Well, he goes back to the Boy Scout way of like,
Yeah.
oh, I can do this, and then there's the moment where the trap doesn't work,
Yeah.
and that's when Arnold yells the iconic, "Kill me! I'm right here! Do it! What are you waiting for?"
Yeah.
And then which in Prey she does the, "Come on! I'm right here! Kill me!" Which I loved. I popped for that. That was a big nostalgia pop.
Yeah.
But that's the infamous, "Right here, you ugly son of a bitch." And then what the hell are you? When he pops the mask off, because that's great. When the mask
Yeah.
fronts and then he takes it off and he's on the rock and does the scream
great,
towards the
man.
moon. Predator rule. Dude, I'm gonna watch that movie again. You guys got me.
It's a great movie. I do have some questions for you,
Yeah.
sir. Who's your favorite Marine? It's got to be Billy, right? He's
Yeah,
not a
Billy.
Marine.
It's not even a question.
It's not even
Billy.
a question, right?
Billy
This-
is the biggest
okay.
badass.
This is a hard one. This or Aliens?
Honestly, for me, I would say this because it
Wow.
was in my, and Aliens was too scary for me at first.
It is
Predator-
scary. It's scarier.
It is
It's way
scarier.
scarier
I
than
think it's
Predator.
Aliens is scarier.
Yeah.
Aliens is like Ripley is, everything's a little bit different. The stuff that they have in Aliens, the knife scene.
Well, it's because like Predator is closer to Darth Maul than he is a Xenomorph as
Yeah.
far as like a device. It's like this is a bad guy you need to see fight.
You also think Predator seems like he comes from a civilization. Alien seems like it's pure evil, and all it is there to devour and destroy. Where the Predator, you kind of understand by the end of Predator, you're like, this thing is hunting.
Yeah, he needs to survive.
Yeah, Alien is like destroying.
Yeah.
And Predator's hunting.
And I would say with you in this, because I was like, this is a movie Dan probably would love to go back in time and be in. You'd be the big pussy guy.
Oh,
the jokes.
Oh my god! Oh my!
of
I'd be the loudmouth that gets killed
Like
second,
immediate, yeah. It's
and I
gotta
would
be
love
that.
it. Oh my
Yeah.
god! Please, if anyone sees that, put me in there. I want to be the guy in the copter who's smoking a cigarette, being like, "Ah man, she had that pussy like a bowling alley." And then there's the scene where I'm like, "Dude, cast it, fuck it,
That's
light it
gotta
up."
be like
Done.
that's the one thing about dying like that, because like if that happened to us, we'd all die like that. There's
Yeah.
got to be a moment when you're dying like that, be like, this is so humiliating.
Yeah, we go. I'm kind of embarrassed. I want to say it. I'm sorry. Oh fuck. In my hotel, there's a wallet. Give it to my wife. Oh fuck, my guts are everywhere.
Wait, I'm reading Dan's questions for Soder.
Some of these were
and wait,
stupid.
one
I don't
of
know why
them-
I wrote this
One of them is,
after-
what's your favorite big pussy joke?
Oh.
Do you mean from the movie?
Well,
or
obviously,
like,
it's the Echo is the greatest.
Yeah. The Echo.
Even Billy loves it. Like Billy has to
the one
love
that
it.
pops
He's
Billy.
so-
Yeah, that's the best one.
That's the best pussy joke.
Okay, so what do you think happens after this? Like, if we had another
We
scene
always
added on.
what happens next?
What
that's
happens
our,
next
That's
is
our
our-
segment. Because when you the thing is
After
when you-
Predator?
No,
Yeah,
like at
well,
the next
right
scene.
after the next scene, because that always ruins a horror movie. Although with this movie, it may not ruin it because it's an action movie.
'Cause he would
so
go
you could
back,
set up
yeah.
a sequel, I guess.
Oh, are you talking about what happens directly after Arnold?
Directly
Well, you could
after.
do it-
With
Yeah,
the
you could
blast and Arnold's on the copter tired?
Yeah, yeah.
I would love if the scene was him back at like the Guatemala City Holiday Inn, and he's just having a quiet glass of whiskey, just staring, smoking a cigar, and then like the guy from Die Hard that tries to be friends with
Booby?
yeah, with Booby. A
Booby,
guy like
my
Booby
boy.
comes in, he goes, "Let me tell you something about Guatemala, buddy." He's like, "Not into talking." He's still got like he's got mud behind his ear.
I was
And
gonna
he,
say, he still has
he
a
goes,
little
"Hey,
bit of,
brother,
like,
you got some
yeah.
dirt right here." And he's like, "Don't touch me."
Schwarzenegger is one of these guys too. Now, if you see the new documentary, which the new documentary is a lot of fun if you're a Schwarzenegger fan, but like clearly he's a guy who just has to do stuff all the time, or else he'll kill everybody. He's like probably Rogan in that way.
Yeah.
you know, like, and this he starts out every day now. He has like
Uh-oh, Dan's
my
manager's
management,
calling.
Big business.
Shut that and just say that sentence again.
no. I want them to know I have a manager.
Yeah, he wants to know that he's fully
Let
wrapped.
them
my-
know that the industry's calling.
I
industry-
want people to know he has a fucking manager.
Oh, you're dropping me? Oh, okay.
And if I could just get this audition clean again of me being the guy that's a smartass that gets killed in the jungle, if I could just get that clean real
What the fuck were
quick.
we even talking about?
Dan's gonna put that on his reel.
You were talking about
Oh,
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger. He wakes up every day now and he has like ponies. So his first hour and a half of a day is just cleaning up pony shit. I don't know if he actually does it.
I was
I
gonna
hope
say,
he
does
does.
that maid do it?
I'm going to tell you right now.
He
although
has an
he
area
fucks-
for his tank. I know he bought land in LA for his tank. That he goes up there and he just drives his to let off steam. He'll get in his tank and he'll go
I
and drive
love it.
around.
Arnold is.
Because
He
let
was
me
a
tell
tank
you-
guy in the army. He was an Austrian.
Yeah,
He was a
yeah.
tank guy. I didn't know that.
I'll tell you right now why I love Arnold so much. He had the love child with the maid. Mm-hmm. Told Maria Shriver when it came out. Then was a good dad to the kid.
Yeah.
He is a good. Not his kid is yoked.
Dude,
now, too.
Yes,
His
the
kid is-
kid is Arnold.
One
More
of the
so
best-
Than any
He's
of
doing
the
the
other
opposite of what his other real kids
Oh,
do.
no,
His real kids are just like, we're hot. And
we
his
did a-
kid's like, I'm going to
Well,
be.
he's got the one son that's not though.
Well,
I
we
think they're,
did
like, the
40
same
minutes
age.
on this on the bonfire.
Oh, yeah.
Of the fat kid that was from Maria Shriver.
Yes, and
being
then
like,
you've got the other one.
Dad! And then the other kid's like, Mr. Arnold, I was wondering if you could show me how to do the perfect tricep push-up. Because he's like jacked like Arnold.
He works him out all
He
the time.
also looks
yeah.
more like him than any of the kids.
Yeah,
which
he
is
looks-
strange, you know.
And
like-
it's crazy the mom's like,
but then you have Patrick, who's so
But-
handsome.
Yeah.
You totally
Little
see
Patrick
why Maria Shriver fell for Arnold, and it's so fucked up because Arnold's like the Shrivers like came up. She goes, my daughter thinks you're cute, and he goes, well, tell your daughter I think she has a great ass. He says that to the mom,
To
and then she's like,
To
and then they got
Eunice
together. I'm like, of course this
Shriver.
guy cheats. That's his first.
Yeah.
Of course, but I'm sure there were more. I mean, there were maids galore.
Oh,
for
he
Arnold. Like,
he
that was
did
an
leave
arranged-
during this filming to get married to Maria. That was the big
right,
thing in his
and
life.
they had like a couple days off, right?
Yeah, they had,
And
like,
then-
Oh, well, I didn't know he
Yeah.
married
In
Maria Shriver.
1986. He got
right
married.
before he started filming this, he married Maria
shit.
Shriver. This guy was killing it forever. It's like that Bill Burr bit where it's
Yeah, I
just
love it. He goes, 40 years of being in the zone.
Just
40
fucking nothing
years.
but net 40 years.
You guys think this guy's going to miss 40 years?
It's it
goes-
is crazy
he gets-
when you think you're
why
like
wouldn't he
Nazi
fuck-
heirs
He
and
goes,
then fucking.
Why wouldn't he fuck her with the condom? This guy spent 4 decades killing it. That's one of my favorite Bill Burr jokes of all time. I lift weights. No one gives a shit. He does it. This guy's a worldwide phenomenon.
It is, and if you look at the history of bodybuilding, which I don't know why anyone would, but
Yeah.
because it's
You
not a
would.
sport.
You love
I love
bodybuilding.
bodybuilding culture because it's not a sport.
Which, by the way, quick warning, you know that's where Dan's headed.
Oh, God. I pray.
I've been putting it in.
Please.
I've been-
What's the
265, you could-
alternative?
I've been putting it in his brain.
I
that
want him to.
His nervous energy is going to go
You
into
have a
him
lot of nervous
Yep.
energy.
clanging and
and the
banging.
addiction.
Yeah,
if he
that's what I
becomes
mean.
heavily addicted to working out.
Oh, he's just going to have one of those protein things on one of the episodes. When that happens, as producers, just know Dan's turning. When he
Yeah.
comes in with one of those shaky things, with the balls in him,
yeah.
he
And he
goes,
starts wearing a tank top again.
Well, it's
When he
gonna be
starts
great.
showing
Bring up a
it.
Saturday and start dating a woman who looks exactly like me. Like she's ripped and shit.
yeah. And you just
I
come
would
in.
No
allow
tits.
that. I would allow that.
You start coming in with talking about drop sets. You go, you know what's scary is when your max plateaus. And then,
We don't have any yoked stand-up comics. We have some badasses, but
What
we
do
don't
you
have any
mean
yoked
yoked?
ones.
What do you mean?
Like ripped.
dude,
Wouldn't you think Evan is?
Evans ripped.
Evans ripped, but Evan's not big enough.
But you
which
gotta
he
get
would hate
bigger.
hearing that.
You
I
could
will
get
cut
bigger.
that. Spivak.
He doesn't have the frame.
Dude,
Which he would, if he heard this, he would probably renounce me.
if I'm fantasy booking this right now,
Yeah.
Dan gets super jacked, and the next time you see Evan, you guys do the Predator handshake. You go,
Evan, you son of a bitch.
And then he, what's wrong? TikTok got you pushing too many pencils? Do it.
That would be amazing.
Jacked.
How long would it take Dan to get in that shape?
I bet in a year he would show significant.
Oh,
if
not.
you guys,
It would take more than a year. I
But
don't
I-
have that much time.
I think if you guys if you found a gym
My wife
near
works
here,
out a lot.
Yeah,
But I
not
don't.
lately. We have a treadmill that is covered in equipment.
Dan,
right now.
find a gym like
We have a CrossFit.
Dan
around the
is one
corner.
of my good friends, so he just does not want to see me relapse again.
That's
He also doesn't want to see him die of a
Yes.
stroke or a heart attack.
since
Same.
we're recording
and I need
this-
a tough friend. I need a. I'm 40,
You have MMA
dude.
fighter friends. Like, well, you have a guy. I mean, not top guys, but we almost hung out at Bellator at like a day casino. That guy
yeah.
could.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Terrence McKinney's a badass.
Yeah.
But
You got
he's
a couple guys.
I'm talking about close knit
Yeah, I was
friends.
gonna say.
Yeah,
like,
Get jacked, dude.
but that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to fight. That just
Doesn't
means I'm
matter.
jacked.
but you'd
Doesn't
be
matter.
intimidating enough that
Like
someone
you could,
wouldn't
I
try
could
to
get
fight
jacked,
you.
and you could still probably beat my ass. 'Cause
So
it
what?
Doesn't matter.
That'll even be cooler.
I want to see it. How about
Well, Dan,
What if
we never
paid you
talked
to get in
about
shape?
this. Me and Dan did. I've been opening for Dan, and actually, I'm going to be opening when this comes out. I'll be opening in December for Dan, which will probably come out.
Oh yeah,
Way
we're
Those will come out
doing way
before
more
that.
dates.
But
Yeah.
way more dates. But we were at the last gig I did with Dan was in Indianapolis, and there was a dude who straight up like 80s action movied me in the green room.
Oh,
like,
I heard this story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dan.
Well, the
Sarah
kid was
loves
just
the
he was
story.
just out of
Love it.
pocket with
Yeah,
Dan.
Yeah.
but he did very like, hey, what, you think you're funny? It was like the beginning of one of these movies.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you think you're tough?
He goes, make me
Except for he
laugh.
was-
That's
he was
exactly what he
2
said.
years in, and he was an MC, so, you know.
Yeah, and then I barked him down.
Dan was like, he's like, no one's ever done anything that nice for me. I'm like, I literally like held your
You're
head
like, I
sobbing
knew
when
one-
your mom died, but
I
okay.
knew your wife.
Like, let me yell at a
Why, your
fucking
friend-
open
Do that. Yeah,
micer.
she did hold me when I was
Yeah.
literally DTing.
This is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan just doesn't want me. There is if I start getting to work out, because it has been between you and me since my mom died. It's been a little rough with the
Well,
relapsing, and then
Dude,
doing
you-
a comedy special right afterwards. So
Yeah.
I was
But
just
now it's your time.
now it's my time to like.
Now it's
So
egg
should you
whites
get
in
on
the
a
morning.
writing schedule again. Dan has a schedule,
Yeah.
man.
I'm telling you, you're gonna wake up at dawn. You're gonna run to the gym. You're gonna have
Dawn is still 12 o'clock,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Because
great.
I've never seen him wake
But
up.
you're gonna.
I wake up at like 10.
That's
Okay.
fair. I wake up at 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna get up, dude. Start getting jacked. Honestly,
You want to do it together?
start putting up
Yeah.
start putting Arnold posters up and shit. Like,
That's
dude,
not a bad move.
I would love to see who wouldn't in this room.
I would
Love
love
to
it.
see an absolute diesel
Just
Dan
Have
Saint
you
Germain.
ever been Diesel? Like,
I'm talking about Dan. I'm talking about.
I did. I mean, when I wrestled, and there's some times like there is some time I will. This is the close I'll get to complimenting myself. Like, like as far as like my physical acumen. If I'm with an out of shape guy and we're wording like something, I will pick it up a little faster because I have like wrestling experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
And also,
and there's just certain things like if you've been wrestling for a couple of years, there's certain ways that you can defend yourself. That
and you
just
can
come
also
naturally.
work out a lot harder if you're a wrestler because they
Yeah.
beat the shit out of you in that. It's
Yeah.
the
And
hardest.
by the
sport.
way, I'm not fucking Mike Vecchione or Greg Warren. Anyone
Yeah.
who listens to this, those guys are like legit.
But-
Didn't you have
I-
like a weight thing too? Like,
And Greg's more
like,
legit. Like Mike's
standing or
kind of legit. Greg Warren is like
Greg Warren was-
legit.
He was an All-American at Missouri.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Don't fuck with him.
Holy shit.
Here's what I
I'm
here's
looking
what I
him
want
up.
out of you. Do that thing that's very popular on the internet where you take a picture of yourself every day for like a year.
I don't want to do that now.
I know, but that's the
know,
whole point.
but he's
But you
right.
start doing it now, and then we'll watch the. You know what I mean? We start seeing them where they're like,
Spaventa, you want to join in on this with me? We'll be like
Get
muscle
jacked,
busters.
dude.
Oh my god, that would be great.
Muscle busters.
Yeah, okay.
That was very concerned. That was very
of all the
convincing.
Diet Coke and the chips. And
He
I
said
will
that
replace
like
it with
while eating a
protein.
Twinkie. By the way, it was.
"Damn, you're gonna drink water. You're gonna eat chicken
This
breasts."
is just
with
you and
no
my wife
skin.
trying to keep me alive, and I
Yeah,
really
I mean,
appreciate
really,
this
though,
about
we
you guys.
you need to stay
Also,
alive.
you will motivate me to not have boobs anymore. I need to get back to being just a skinny stoner, and I need you to get fucking jacked.
I know, man. I know. Well, you're not going to be a skinny stoner anymore. That ship has probably left. You either have to get cut or.
All right, well, you get jacked first, and then I'll follow your
I think
lead.
it's a great idea, and I think it's good for you to become addicted to something.
That's what I mean.
else.
You have the.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You have the.
What about pot? I've been.
No.
No, because that makes you want to eat.
Yeah.
Like,
It
does
I've
make me
gained
wanna
weight
eat.
smoking
And
pot.
here's the deal. You can do pot, but in the Schwarzenegger pumping iron way. Once you're
He
jacked,
smokes like a joint.
and he goes,
Yeah.
when he's laying there.
Here's the thing about Schwarzenegger in those, because I know a little bit about bodybuilding culture, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And the reason that Schwarzenegger was able, first off, his body was tremendous, but the other thing is he does not have the insecurities that most bodybuilders have. Like most bodybuilders are like have body dysmorphia and they think they're fat and they all wear sweaters. Schwarzenegger has none of that. He came in like if you've ever seen Pumping Iron, it's a great fucking movie.
Great documentary.
And,
And he's very mean to Lou Ferrigno,
and
who's deaf.
he just dog walks Ferrigno the entire time.
I
He
was
talks
asking-
shit to Ferrigno's dad.
He goes,
He's
where
talking shit to
are your
Ferrigno's dad.
son's calf muscles? He has no calf muscles. How are you going to be Mr. Olympia?
And he had
with no
retired.
calf
He had
muscles?
retired at that point. And I think came back just to
Get a seven.
kill everybody, do the Jordan thing, come back in a couple years. Anyway, but bodybuilding, the most useless sport you can be good at.
Yeah, but
The
you're
most
go-
useless.
You're gonna get jacked.
Yeah,
It's so
we're gonna make
useless.
it happen.
Dude,
And
I'm
most of those guys are all sex workers too. Like a lot
Well,
of those guys, like
get
Well,
ready
so
to
is
make some
Dan.
money.
Kai Green was like caught fucking an orange in a mask or something like weird sex stuff.
Dude, well, I can't wait for you to. I can't wait for you to be jacked and oiled in some thong, and I see you
Just,
on
like,
Sixth
playing with my
Avenue.
titties?
I see you on Sixth Avenue after you just had to shirtless
Yeah, that's a
wrestle
great look
CEO.
for comedy, by the way. Although with Matt Rife now, who the
I
fuck
was
knows?
gonna say at this point you can
Do it, dude.
it's-
I've
Get
heard more
jacked.
about Matt Rife the last 2 weeks than I think I've
What
heard
is
of
Matt
any.
Rife?
Well, he's selling
Who's the
tickets
new hottest
like
comedian?
He's selling tickets like Taylor
I'll
Swift.
be the judge
Yeah.
of that.
Get jacked.
No, he's not
going
gonna
to
be your
cannot
type.
lose the point. Get
He's not gonna
Predator
be your
jacked.
type.
He
at all.
is. Oh, but he's jacked.
He's
oh,
not-
he's a
he-
handsome kid, chiseled.
He's fucking.
You
Dan.
know who he looks like.
Dan,
I'm coming for you, Rife.
get jacked.
I'm coming for.
he's
How is
very
that going to help my comedy?
Look how
It's
pretty
not.
he is.
It's not.
No.
at all.
It's not at all.
Or like help us writing the show. Just be yoked
I
head
just
writer.
can't wait to hear you type and then stop to drink your protein shake. Get jacked. Can we all
You think,
push
you
Dan?
think he's hot, Matt Rife?
I think he looks. He's an attractive guy.
Oh, man,
Now
she
imagine
thinks
when
that.
you get jacked.
She thinks Matt
No,
Rife's hot.
I think he's not my type though. You know,
He's
I
got, like,
dated
these
one
big fuck me
bodybuilder and it
lips.
was so fucking awful.
Yeah, that's a lot because it's high maintenance.
It is.
They
It's
gotta-
high maintenance.
It's constant. You know what it is?
And they're not good in bed because everything's hard and
Yeah.
stiff, and
then
it's
they
like
just bang
ow.
into you.
Yeah.
It's probably got
Get wild and out, man. You got to do wild and out. That was all these things we thought
Listen.
were corny are now like career makers.
hot people.
Well, it's a
when you
yeah.
see hot people or jacked people, they're like old cars. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And when you see them on the highway, you're just seeing them out. You're not seeing all the care that goes into it.
No.
But I think Predator will be the movie that inspires you to get
Maybe, man. Maybe this is just an intervention. I will say this: if I got jacked, I would be very obnoxious about it. Like I would be walking around without a shirt.
I would allow you to be.
Listen,
Walking around without a shirt.
Dude, I would love just to be out in public with you and you just peel off.
I've never seen
you're just sitting there being like, yeah, what? We're just in the park talking about a concept of another show we're trying to write. And
Well, that's the thing.
Like,
It's
doing
like,
his pecs.
like, look, I don't think
Dan's
being
just sitting up,
fatter.
I'm talking to him. I go, Dan, what do you think of this for a joke? He
I
goes
mean,
like,
my comedy special, which will probably be coming out in the fall, I look too fat for it. So I do need to lose.
so what you do is the next special,
Yes, you're so fucking shape.
jacked.
She just wants to fuck someone else.
No, I don't. I just
That's
want
what
you to
this is about.
live.
She just wants you to live. She loves you.
No, I will say this: when Dan and
I do want to fuck someone else.
I
Yeah.
want to fuck Matt, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. When Dan and I first started dating, we were like in the best shape of both of our lives. Like
Yeah.
I just
I've been in better shape
we have a photo of us at the beach, and I'm in a bikini, which I haven't probably worn since. I wear a one piece now.
Yeah.
I'm a woman of a certain age.
Yeah.
And he's wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and he's so skinny. I'll show you the photo. And I
I'm
keep
not that
saying,
skinny, but I'm
you're
skinnier than that.
no, but you look great, and your face. And I said we should put that on our
I'm like if you
refrigerator
let yourself
every
go.
fucking time. I'll show you guys the photo right now.
Get it.
We look right. I just had my boobs done, so they're like on my, up to my neck.
Dan,
But-
we're gonna get you so jacked
Yeah.
that we're gonna refilm Predator with you as Dutch. So what they did is Predator put out a video game right before the pandemic.
Was that good?
It was very fun. It was based on the Friday the 13th game, which is very fun. Where
I played that. I couldn't get into it, but
I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Where you are either it's just online, and you're either the counselor or Jason. And so what they did with this one is you're either one of the mercenaries or you're Predator. And then there's bots that are like soldiers that you go in and kill Call of Duty style. And then the Predator comes, and while you're taking out the mercenaries, someone else is the Predator. So like you could be the Predator, and then you're like hunting them, and you're up in the trees, and you're
the Predator?
as the Predator.
Look how tiny he is there.
Oh, you guys look great.
so you guys are like, so he's like looking down.
So
Look at us.
I'm also
Tiny
sitting on a
babies.
slot. I'm also
You
on a.
were thin.
You
though.
look.
Look
You
at
do
that
look
face.
hot as fuck in that.
I mean,
picture.
I'm skinny than I'll.
I definitely got a couple like, oh, shit. how'd you
well,
find
now when
that
you're
one?
jacked, you guys can redo that photo.
Now we're just fat and old.
Oh, no.
sitting
You're
here
not
with
fat.
dogs.
I'm excited
fat.
for you guys' second act where you guys are all jacked up. But
Me too.
And she remarries.
Predator,
Matt Rife.
the video game, did a cool thing where they got Arnold to voice Dutch again.
They did.
And he's Dutch 2026 in the video game Predator. But what sucks is he was a downloadable character, so then everyone just downloaded Arnold. So while you were just playing the game,
there's like millions of
everyone's just running around going, get to the chopper, get to the chopper, get down, get down. And you're like, it stopped me from playing the game because I was like, this is fucking annoying. I don't
Yeah,
wanna
you
play
gotta
this.
you gotta bring in a couple different guys.
Have a Billy. They should have had a downloadable Billy.
I mean, that's the next way.
he's
Unfortunately,
dead.
Predator's not that popular.
I can't believe it's in the horror genre because I would think it's
Well,
exclusive.
I knew you didn't like
It's-
horror, so I was trying to figure out, like, oh, Predator kind of like.
I think it's
straddles
scary
both.
though. The actual beast of Predator, like the idea of it is scary,
Yeah.
but then you see it, it's also kind of fucking frightening.
Yeah, I mean, this face when he takes off the mask because the
Oh
mask
my
is
God,
so cool.
Yeah.
Just looks like fucking. What's his name from the Derrick Henry from the Titans?
Oh, with the hair.
Yeah, the hair and everything. All right, Dan. Well, thank you so much for coming on our little
Dan, you're
our
the best.
little
Thank
horror
you.
podcast.
I'm so excited for you to get jacked, dude.
Me too.
Now I feel like I have to.
Yeah,
good.
dude.
We're
You do.
putting
I
it
can't
out
wait
there.
for you to wear thin, like thin tank tops with a gorilla on it doing like a 4,000-pound deadlift. I can't wait for you to have a Gold's Gym. I can't wait for you to tell me about how like Ronnie Coleman really wasn't that jacked.
Ronnie Coleman, man, that guy, poor guy. He's got to get around in a wheelchair now.
But no steroids. Do this all naturally, dude.
Yeah, that's impossible, by the way. But I have plenty of friends who are actually sober, like over a decade, haven't touched a weed, anything, and they take steroids
Really?
because that's their thing.
Do
And
it, dude, please.
If I
Get
start
jacked.
taking roids,
Let's
don't-
start the
well-
hashtag Dan Get Jacked.
Yeah.
Saint Germain.
Get jacked.
They'll probably just
Fine.
think that I got robbed if they hear that.
No, I think get buff, dude. Let's call it
Yeah.
Dan get buff.
I was asking my friend because he works at Gold's, and I was like, "What do like all the muscle guys say to each other?" They're just like, it's all like looking good, King.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Dude, I can't wait for you
it's
to
just
compliment.
like guys like it's like no girls interacting, but it's just guys going like, "Look at that,
Look
yeah,
at you, dude.
ooh."
You're having some
Lose weight
gains.
quickly. Dan
Yeah.
loses weight. Like if you just
Not anymore,
ate-
man. I'm 39.
Absolutely not. If you just ate healthy for like a month, you would lose at least 15, 20
Guys, my
pounds.
mom died at the end of fucking February. All
Right,
right,
I
ate
know,
all
And
that
I'm
fried
it's
saying.
food.
summer now. So it's time to get
February
jacked.
food. I drank a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Ate a little bit too many baked clams. You know,
And-
like
and-
Baked clams.
And
I've never covered
afternoon
in
comes
everything.
before evening. What do you want? It's time to get jacked,
all
I
dude.
right.
love this.
maybe next time I won't even be able to hold the microphone. I'll be so jacked.
I love it.
I'm trying to think
love
of
it.
one,
It's
but besides Carrot Top, is there like a jacked comedian?
Piscopo.
Piscopo, that's right.
He
Heard he's a sweetheart, that guy. But also kind of weird because, he's one of those guys as a comic. Like he did the Sinatra impression, but then he started like kind of doing Sinatra for
this is
real at these
2000.
Italian American parades.
Yeah, it's real
and you're
bad.
like, what's going on?
It's
buddy?
real bad.
All right, but
wait,
Well, you-
Spaventa was going to say something.
Well, Chappelle's Jack now.
Chappelle got
That is-
super
yeah,
jacked.
he's
but now
huge.
he's just big because he's not jacked anymore.
he's on
he
HGH.
was jacked for a
he had to
while.
have been on HGH.
He
or
was
something, man.
fucking huge.
Dude, that guy was big. But
Kumail's also jacked.
yeah, well, he's on that Marvel regimen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Those
guess
guys-
what? Guess you're up next, dude.
Yeah.
Man, who would I be in the Marvel series?
Oh, I don't know,
A
dude.
scientist.
Down
love
on his luck, Sabretooth.
I love it. You're just like, oh man, divorce Sabretooth.
Divorce Sabretooth.
I got a real problem with Wolverine and gave me life advice that lost me my Molly.
All right. Well, Dan, please tell us where we can find you. Promote. This will probably be coming out in August.
DanSoder.com, live dates. Go see me on the road. I'm on the road a shit ton in August. Non-stop. I'll be in L.A., San Diego, Seattle, Calgary, Edmonton.
Doing comedy shop in Calgary.
Yeah, doing one night. I'm doing a festival up there. Then Edmonton,
nice.
2 shows. DanSoder.com for all
Check
the
it
live
out,
dates.
guys.
At Dan Soder on social.
One of the best in the country.
The
Top five.
nicest, coolest. We love Dan Soder.
Top five
Love him.
stand up.
Right?
So check him out, and thank you, Dan.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks,
Dan.
guys.
Till then, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Also, I'll just keep this recording for a second. Like, there has never been a time in Arnold's acting where they ever tried to make him do an American accent.
No.
Because they're
No.
like, this is not going to
But
work.
Matthew McConaughey also can't do anything other than a southern
Yeah.
accent. Like,
Just
there's certain
gotta be.
actors, like, so we can shit on Schwarzenegger for that, but we're also like, there are plenty of people that
Yeah.
can't do.
Well, Schwarzenegger try to play it subtle. He would just be a bad actor. So he's got two choices: bad actor or movie
I
star.
do
Yeah.
love him
He
in
picked movie
Kindergarten
star.
Cop, though.
Love
He's
it.
so great in the. I mean, that's like my favorite. That and
Who's
True
you?
Lies.
Which is very violent
Right.
in the beginning.
Yeah,
Kindergarten
who's
Cop.
your
He just
daddy?
blows guys away.
What does
Yeah.
he do?
Also, big pussy jokes in that too. Well, there's pussy jokes in it.
Not enough big pussy jokes, if you ask me.
Yep.
Well, it is in kindergarten. See you next week, folks.